All right, joining me now is House Foreign Affairs Committee member Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, who is a member of the House Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus, and Arizona Sheriff Mark Lamb. Congresswoman, I want to begin with you because those sound bites laid it out pretty nicely, right? On one hand, they're saying the COVID numbers are down. We don't have to worry about this. They've taken off their masks at the White House. They're going to parties. On the other hand, they're saying we need more money for COVID, even though they have money in the coffers that they haven't already spent. So it's a little confusing for people what the actual policy is here. When it comes to Title 42, many Americans think it should remain in place.
Well, exactly, particularly when you have individuals crossing our border illegally from over 150 different countries. You know, if we are concerned about a surge, as Dr. Fauci says is coming, why would you take away that Title 42 protection that allows for individuals who come from countries where there are illnesses to be returned back to those countries? And then at the same time to be asking for money to deal with a potential uptick. I mean, it's really hypocritical, and it just shows you that Democrats don't know what one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing, and that's the bottom line here. Besides the fact that there's still $700 billion in unspent COVID money, also hundreds of billions of dollars, it's estimated, has been lost to fraud because of the PPP program and the unemployment fraudulent claims. So you know, Democrats have to get their act together before they come to Congress and ask for us to pass more funding.
Mark, you know, does any of this have to do with the fact that this is an election year after all?
Yeah, it has completely everything to do with the fact that it's an election year. Just like how they claim to not be defunding the police. All their claims, all their claims about defunding the police, and now they care about the border now, and they want to do all this stuff. It's all because it's an election year. That's the whole reason. And I would like to think it's not, but everything they've done so far is to show that they really just want to say what you want to hear so they can maintain control over the American people.
Yeah, and when it comes to the American people, there's a new CBS poll out indicating that 62% of Americans, Congresswoman, do not approve of how President Biden is handling immigration.
Yeah, and to hear Jen Psaki at the beginning of the show say that Title 42 isn't an immigration policy, there is no immigration policy. There is no border security policy. And the people in this country recognize what is going on. I represent a district where we have many immigrants, including my own parents, came here, did things the right way. They waited online. They waited and followed the rules of this country. People are sick and tired of seeing individuals, 3 million people crossing our country illegally since this president has has taken office. He has dismantled security at the border, and on the other side of this, it comes at a tremendous expense to the taxpayer. They're paying for their attorneys, health care, education, housing. We can do this the right way. In fact, if you talk to people in various industries, I'm sure people watching right now, if they're in the hospitality or agriculture or restaurant, or they are truck companies, they need workers. We have a labor shortage because for many reasons, but quite frankly, we can be looking at bringing individuals into the country, lifting those visas for individuals where they're needed in various sectors. But what we have right now is complete chaos. And we are seeing criminals cross. We are seeing fentanyl cross. Now fentanyl has become the #1 killer among 18 to 45-year-olds, and it's coming from Mexico. That's where it's coming from. The president has to stop putting the drug cartels over the American people.
And speaking of the people in the border states that are being impacted, Mark, you know, you've got Governor Abbott saying, I'm going to take them from Texas and I'm going to send them to Washington, D.C. and put them in your backyard, Mr. President. This is as we see these secret flights going on around the country. As a matter of fact, many of them coming to New York. And you've got Rob Astorino, the Republican candidate for New York governor, tweeting this. Secret Biden flights from southern border are back at Westchester County Airport. I-Aero 737 from El Paso landed Saturday at 9:43 p.m. 2 buses went south and 1 went to Somers in northern Westchester. When will the U.S. government answer my February 1st letter? Public has a right to know. And indeed they do, Sheriff. I mean, these are going to be the issues that people are thinking about when they go to the polls, hopefully.
Absolutely. They should be thinking about this. Congresswoman was right. This is not about immigration. It's about human trafficking, drug trafficking. And our own government is trafficking these people throughout the country, distributing them to all these different states. And they're doing it in the cloak of darkness. They've been doing this for a while. They just keep getting caught whether it's busing them or flying them to different states. But the only way for them to distribute 1.5 million people a year, and which is only going up, is to be able to send them all over the country. And that's what they've been doing. But the American people are really feeling the impact of these poor open border policies. Well, they're not even policies, they're non-existent.
We are out of time, but it's always great to see you both. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, Sheriff Mark Lamb. Great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.